Hey, good morning, folks. AJ here, and guess what? We're back here at the creek. We are doing some more work for them. We've done quite a few projects with them, starting with helping them out with their one PTZ camera, and we've migrated them to a bunch of stuff. Also did some work over there at their room for their baptism. But we are here, and they want to actually remove the production aspect of the media ministry from the sanctuary into their own production room. So managing the slides, Pro Presenter, and the TVs in the sanctuary, as well as the sound, is still going to stay there, but we're going to extend everything else that goes with their live stream, controlling the cameras, everything that happens with producing their live stream is actually going to be put in another room. I am just waiting for everybody to get here. I just kind of took the stuff out. And the good thing, this is the beauty of doing their install. I kind of know where everything is. So originally, there are two cameras in the front, one in the back, and we have an extension for a stationary camera. I don't believe they use that anymore, but and we have the feed that's coming from Pro Presenter. We need to extend all of those. I believe the room is going to be on this side, but we ran everything onto the left side of the sanctuary. All we got to do is cut those cables, extend them, and run them into the room where it's going to be done. We also are going to do two 50 inches. One is going to be for the multi-view, and then another one is going to be output of exactly what's going to the sanctuary, to the live stream as well too. So that way everybody can see this. This is similar to what I wanted to do when I get my house and have build out my YouTube studio downstairs. But yeah, I'm gonna eat a little bit of breakfast and we'll get inside and take you along with what we're gonna do. All right, so like I was saying, folks, pretty much that's a Pro Presenter system. That's gonna stay here. I think that's the second screen. No, this is the screen for the ATEM. We're not going to need the screen because this is going to be hooked up to one of the TVs. The streaming computer that we built them as well, it was, oh, they moved it. That's right there. That's going to go over there as well too. And the screen for that system, and that's it. And then we need to extend the cables for this, the two cameras here, the two up there, and the third if they're still using that one on the floor. And the beauty of this, all of these cables here are pretty much going to go away for the most part, except for the ones coming from here. The ones that are coming here, these are the ones that we're going to cut, and they ran through the ceiling, ran across there, and that's the room we're going to be setting up in. But all those cables existed here. So on the other side of this room is where we're going, but all of those cables are right there. So we're just going to extend them right over there behind that wall. And we get there, I need to see if there's steel studs in there. If they are, I need to go get some metal tapping screws to secure the mounts, but not that far. I mean, it is going to be some work, but not a whole lot. I mean, worst case scenario, I could cut the cables and just pull them back, which we are going to do because, like, I don't know if you can see, I'm probably going to put enough slack in those right there so I can pull it straight down. But these are all the cables that give internet to the cameras, everything like that. A couple of these are for the feeds for the TVs. We need to make sure we don't cut those. But we got 4 cables. No, that's internet. That's internet. So it's actually only 2. These are the 2 SDI cables that are going to the cameras. The rest of those are internet. That's internet. That blue one is internet. And that looks like an audio cable. But these are the main ones that we're going to do. And some of these cables we've actually got rid of because originally they had a serial joystick. We moved them to an IP joystick so we didn't have to daisy chain everything. So while I'm doing this, as you can see, this actually blue one, that's the one that was cut. And the other one went over here up under the stage. And came over here to here. So that can go away because we're going to power everything by the SDI cable, the video feed, and then the black cable is given internet. So that's all we really got to track. Those are the only two that exist over here. And everything else we ain't got to worry about. So I technically don't need to touch anything up here on the stage. I just need to verify which line is getting the interwebs all the way here. And I think that's the white cable. I think that's here. So this one needs to be extended. That blue one doesn't actually can pull back. So it's this one, these two, and that. These are the cables that I need to keep. The rest of these are not my concern. The blue one, if that's still going to the original serial one, I'll probably pull that and get that up out of the way, and maybe even use that for extra cable if need be. I don't think I need it, but anyway, let's finish bringing everything else in and start planning out the layout of everything. Alrighty, coming in the room, we only got two options. Either TV's here or TV's there. Pretty much it was decided the TVs are going to be here. So I need to make sure I have enough space when we mount these TVs. And this is going to be good for when you're sitting down. It's going to be at eye level. And we're going to place the two 50 inches right here side by side. But let me make sure that's exactly what Makita wants, because last thing I want to do is start making some holes in here. And that ain't right. And we got to move stuff. Alrighty, so we got everything marked and leveled here, but there's still studs here. So, and I don't have any toggle bolts. So I'm getting ready to run up to the store, and I just got a call back from Mount Sinai. They Verizon changed their router and it messed up everything. So I went there Sunday and fixed some stuff. So I say all that to say, while I go to Lowe's, I got to pick up a router for them because I'm gonna separate their stuff on something completely different. But then I need to get some toggle bolts for here. Even though this is thicker drywall, I still don't just do that. We're going to get some self-tapping metal screws to go into the steel studs. And actually, I could just use different toggle bolts. I don't have a drill bit right now for drilling through steel. But anyway, I'm probably going to just do some self-tapping screws that will screw in here. This will predominantly hold it, but I'm going to have it go into the steel stud so it doesn't do anything. And I think this is open here. I could have drop the board down here or open it up on the other side. I don't want to do all that, but we're gonna do that, then hang the TVs and then go from there. So let me let Makita know I'll be back and we'll go from there. And like that, we have two TVs. I am gonna get a surge protector that's here so that tension won't be on that cable like that, but we do have both of them set up. Now I am going to probably put together the rack where it's going to be everything here, and I need to find a table so I can start setting up and moving stuff over here. Now, honestly, what I'm probably going to do is turn the system on so I can find out which cable is which. And if I can pull the cables back from in the ceiling, because I know I did some couplers. Again, the room is right on the other side of this, so I don't need that much. So if I can pull all the cable from all the way right there, I should have more than enough. So I just need to find which cable is which and go from there. So I need to move the pottery and everything out of the way and we can get to there. So this is going to be a temporary table, so that rack right there is not going to be there. I want it to actually be to the side or over here, but I need some extension cables to reach that. But there we go. We got the multi-view, then we got the program view that everybody will see here, and I can easily switch these around if it needs to be vice versa. Again, I need an extension cable so that that TV can reach where I put the rack, and that's what's going to turn everything on. So we got that. Now I need to find a line for the internet to come over here, and I think what I need to do is leave a connection over here or run one, and that will be the new connection that I run all the way back over here. So maybe I'll repurpose that blue cable and use that instead. I think that blue cable is going to that we're not using the serial connection, so I'll probably let that be my internet connection that comes back over there. So let's do that, and then we'll slowly start moving this stuff over. All right, so we got the the joystick powered. We do have a connection ran for the ATEM, and what we're gonna do now is I have two 100-foot XLR cables that we're gonna run from over there to here to get sound. So I'm already gonna be doing cables, so we're gonna work our way this way, maybe even put a hole in here to make it a lot nice and neater, but I don't know. We'll see. But let's get these cables and go from there. All right, folks, we've made some very good progress. We got the adapters over here. I have all of the cameras identified. We got those. I need to run two new cables for the back one and the static. I don't have enough RG6. That's all I got, which is not long enough. Those two cables are right there. I need to, and those came loose, so I need to push those back into that, run two more cables all the way over here. Now the original baptism camera, and actually I'm sorry, it's the static camera in the back are the ones I'm running. The baptismal camera, they actually ran under the building. That cable is actually right here. So once I get all this is fine, and I got more than enough. I'm gonna shorten that cable. The audio cables are up here as well too. We're gonna drop those down, run them over, come over this side so everything's the same. I have this sleeve that I will hide all the cables. I got all of this. We're gonna shorten all of this up, so that's not a problem. We're going to probably get a USB power plug for all of these, so all of these will go and we won't use up multiple plugs for this, so that'll be done. We need to move the streaming computer over here. We are streaming with the streaming bridge back over to the area over there. I do need to run another feed from here back and put a capture card inside of the ProPresenter system. That's how they're able to bring up any of the cameras inside of the sanctuary, because they don't show cameras inside the sanctuary at all. I do have a capture card, so we'll be able to do that. They have the ATEM Mini Pro. I think that yeah, the ATEM Mini Pro, they should be able to use that instead. And they already had a HDMI splitter. I can use that instead of the one that I had that one. So if they got that, we're gonna use that one instead. There's no point in putting a bunch of stuff here if it's not needed. And yeah, we'll be back. The good thing is a lot of the cables are already done. I just got to pull two more. We're gonna shorten those up, make them all look nice and pretty. Get the computer over here, set that up, make sure we have the feed that goes over to here, which that cable should be here somewhere. So we will have to, I have to pull the cable up from there, connect that. So we have to have three cables go this way and then another go back this way. I think I have another fiber optic HDMI cable. I'll do that, and then we don't have to worry about converters. But very good progress. I was going to go over to Abundant Life tomorrow, but since this is so close to being done, I'm going to come over here. If I can get over here tomorrow, that's if somebody's going to be here, I'll knock this out. I have a whole spool of 1,000 feet of RG6 over at Abundant Life. I might actually go grab that and swing over here, because what I have to do at Abundant Life is the same thing. I have to route all the rest of the cables into the media room, similar to like this, across the other side of the building, and then I have to start hanging the digital wall. And then whenever they're done, I got to come back anyway and move the cameras when they're ready to go into the sanctuary and put those side cameras up there. So we still got a bunch of work over there, so I don't think they're projecting to be inside the sanctuary anytime soon. But I want to knock this out because we're pretty close to this being done. So let's kick back over to the next day, day 2, and hopefully the last day we'll get this stuff done. Alrighty folks, we are back, and hopefully we're going to finish this up today. I got all my other cables up here. I got my big spool of RG6, so we're gonna run 2 more cables. I have another fiber optic HDMI cable, so we're gonna send the signal back so that can show up in ProPresenter for when they're doing they want to show the cameras, like the baptismal stuff inside the sanctuary. I think actually let them hold a capture card. They still have it here somewhere, so we're gonna have them find that and use that one there already. And then we're just gonna test everything out. Let me go ahead and pull these cables right now, and then I'm gonna pull everything in this direction. So the fact that the cables are already here, I'm just actually going to run them across here and down, so all of them are in the exact same way. That is the baptismal camera as well as the audio, and then I'm going to pull 2 more, and I'm probably going to do that the same way for this way. So let's get that done and get this stuff up and running. Also, I got the USB plug, so all of these are going to plug into this, and that will make this easier. That will save me some more plugs. I was going to get a shop outlet, but they didn't have any, so I had this one. I just bought this one for another client, another church, but they didn't use it, so it's brand new. So this is what's going to give, I'm going to put this up here for the TVs and for the computers. This is the stuff that's going to stay on the entire time, but everything else is going to be tied into the switch that turns that stuff on and off. So let me get a ladder, get these cables up and over, and then I'm gonna cut these cables for these 2 SDIs. Alrighty, so we got the cables wrapped in the sleeve, got everything hooked up. I think they made an adjustment to this camera because the lights are not on, so hopefully that's what that is. Baptismal camera is hooked up, but it's not on. Everything is connected. All we got to do now is bring the computer over. I need to put this mount on here. I need to pull the audio cables that are right there and bring them over and hook this up. Make sure we got that. And then we're going to figure out what we're going to do with connecting to the TV over here, over there, and then bring everything over and then start doing some cleanup and make sure everything is working. I think I have 1 more cable to run, which is the feed from here over. But I want to see if it's possible for me to do some NDI stuff to avoid that coming from the OBS computer. But we'll see how that all goes. And like I said, we're gonna put this against the wall so that we can have the TVs plug into this and the computer plugs into this, so this stays on, and we'll go from there. All right, we got audio, so yay. We got all our stuff ran, the audio cables. I'm gonna push those into here, but I actually might put them in a separate one, but hey, we're good to go. All right, folks, we're doing really good. I have these cables. We're feeding over the TV and everything. Also had a little issue where we normally split the baptismal camera that has a mixer on its side, and we split the audio, and I'll link the video where we did this. But since we did this over here, we had to do something else. So I've ran another SDI out from the baptismal camera. This feeds over to here, and then that is going to give a signal to back over to, and actually I'm tripping, we actually need to run a feed over there. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's right. We have one of the feeds that's coming out of here that is going to be for our baptismal. I actually hooked it up wrong right now, but one of these others is going to feed to the baptismal camera. That will go to the audio extractor that sends audio from the baptismal back to the sound system. We will need to get 2 more SDI to HDMI converters. I believe I ordered some for another project, so I'm gonna get those, and when they pay me, I'll replace the ones there. And one is gonna live behind the TV over there, and then the other one is going to be right there near Makita's feet. We're gonna have it right there. So we're gonna have the SDI to HDMI converter that actually is right there. That's gonna connect to here, send the signal, extract the audio out like we did before. We are going to also, I'm tripping, we actually need to have another one, another cable I completely forgot about. I always love doing this where I forget about something. So I need to run one more SDI cable that needs to come here. I need to find out where this one is, but we need to run one more that's going to feed this TV, and then the other one is going to feed there. Or I could put a splitter up there and split it, because that cable is actually up there, right there, that's feeding that run all the way over there. Either way, we need to do something like that. So I don't want to keep it up there, but we'll I have a long enough cable, so I can pull that cable back down here. That will live down here. Then I'd run the other end that goes back over there to that other TV. So that will be kind of like this. Just imagine this is a SDI to HDMI that has a loop out. So one input is going to come in that feeds this TV. The other out is going to go out and feed that one. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. But we's done for today. And like I said, when I come back, it's not going to be that much that I have to do. They also want me to look into doing a projector, replace the projector over in their baptismal area. So when I come back, it is going to be very simple. I'm going to finish running these cables in the ceiling over here. And then the only thing we really got to do is have those converters, hook those up, test, and we're good to go. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Alrighty folks, we are back. We got the extra converters. I did ultimately run another fiber optic HDMI cable, but I'm having an issue now that for some odd reason it's saying that the signal is out of sync. So what I'm gonna do is find the cable that I need that's going over to the media booth, and I'm just gonna have that run directly from the ATEM instead of coming from OBS, because this is now the OBS feed. We got a splitter and that's run, and that's what's over there as well too. I just got to figure that out and then turn on the audio, because we have the SDI to audio extractor that I have from another client that wasn't using. It's been sitting here for 6 months, so I put that over here. We need to get some cables for that, and then that's mainly it. I already ran all the cables. All this other stuff is nice and neat. I'm gonna let them organize this the way that they want to, but I think we are good. So like if we come in here, so the Stream Deck is controlling this just like it was already, so all of that is fine. Yeah, I just need to figure out what I'm gonna do with this one over here. Yeah, I just got to figure that out. Alrighty folks, we are all done. We got the production room here. We had a couple of issues with the sound that we were testing, but we got that taken care of. It was a grounding issue, but we've gotten that since done. So I'm going to actually go back to my computer and design this to do an updated map for them, but let me show you what we got. So we have our switch here. I have added another switch so that this side just gives internet the entire time. This is our PoE switch that provides power. So instead of running another internet line, we have the computer connected here. We got 2 more jacks, so the computer will always have internet even if everything else is turned off. This is sending the power to the cameras, our joystick. Everything is routed to the ATEM, and we're not using the HDMI out for this. We're doing the program out, that is. We have the multi-view. This one actually is the output from OBS. So when they're doing anything here, the secondary output from this computer goes to this splitter, which goes to this TV, feeds the capture card inside of ProPresenter over here, also feeds that TV, and feeds this other monitor so everybody here in the booth can see what's going on. So if I come over here and go to our capture device here, let me make sure, because sometimes this is the cam link and it acts up sometimes. Come on now. Alright, it's acting up on me. There we go. Let's just close ProPresenter and let's do this again. But the other thing we did, originally we had an audio extractor, but what we did is put this SDI to audio extractor. So we have another feed coming from that HDMI splitter, that's sending video and audio, but we only care about the audio. Now we're running that out into the sound system, which is given the Baptismal mic. There's a mixer over there, so mics, speakers, everything will give sound over there, and everything is routed back here so everyone can hear inside of here. And ultimately this audio, everything that goes here goes out to, where are my two cables? Those two cables down there that wrap all the way up and send audio back over to the ATEM. So now let's see, is the cam link gonna behave for me now? There it goes. So we're also having a feed here, so when they're here, if they want to do something with the baptism, we can bring up that camera here, and that goes here. We have everything routed as we normally would. So in here, these TVs only show ProPresenter, but if we loop over, and actually I can control it from here. If I want to do PC, now that is what's going to OBS. That's what goes to this TV, and over here, and that's what's going out. Now they haven't used it. We have a streaming bridge here as well too. That's the easiest way for us to send video over to the baptismal area. But let me take you over there real quick because I need to grab some stuff too, and we'll be done here. Well, I'm gonna go back to my computer and give a design, updated design of all of this, but let me walk over, show this last thing here, and then we are up and out of here. And I gotta get home because I actually have another appointment I gotta get down to Petersburg to do. But if we head over here, we installed this camera a while ago. So we got the AV cans here. We actually got another project. Pastor Cooper wants me to move this up and replace this. So we're gonna put a projector up from the ceiling, similar to probably the one that we did at First African Baptist Church in Charlottesville. So we'll hang it from the ceiling. But anyway, everything that's coming from here is what's being sent. I had this hum eliminator, but we're actually not using this. So I'm gonna actually take this back. We'll use this for another day. But all of the audios coming from there goes into, this was already done. This wasn't me, but they connected this. So this is what's sending audio, and the feed from the camera is joining here, and then that is what's being sent all the way back over to the media booth, where the sound and everything is going all the way over to the ATEM, split again to the audio to the board, and all that other fun stuff. So anyway, let's get over to the computer, let's design this, and I'll put a list to everything that we did here. And again, I just want to thank Spring Creek. We've been working with them for 3-4 years, and it means a lot to me that they continually call me when they want to do more stuff. It means I must have done something right if they keep calling me back. So anyway, let's get over to the computer, let's design this, and then let's end this video. Alrighty folks, guess what, we are back, and I tried to find the original document that I did for Spring Creek, but it looks like I actually did that for them, so I don't actually have it on this computer. It's on theirs, and I don't have access to remote in. So we're just going to design this whole thing all over again. This is the closest thing that I had. This is actually when they originally had an ATEM Mini Pro. So let's just go ahead and design this whole thing again. And this will be 2023 Spring Creek. All right, so let's work backwards on here. Let's start with our televisions. I'm gonna try and keep this small because this is gonna be a very big design here. So that's our front sanctuary TV. So that's sanctuary left, sanctuary right. They also have a stage display on the back wall. All right. Now we also have a baptismal TV. also have a lobby TV. We just added oh, actually, we need to have another one here. This is media booth TV. And I don't know why my mic keeps falling. All right. That's a media booth TV, but then we have also a production room TV. Whew, this is going to get fun. All right. And add another one here. This is going to be our multi-view TV. All right, so those are all the TVs. All right, let's go ahead and do a few things here. Let's start with our cameras. So we're going to have, let's shrink these here because this, like I said, this is going to be pretty big. This is going to be our left front camera. We have a right front camera. We have a back camera. We also have a stationary camera. And we also have a baptismal camera. All right, so that's a total of 5 cameras. Now for our computers. We have 2 main computers. One is going to be our Pro Presenter computer. Then we also have in the production room our OBS. Well, let's just call it our streaming PC. All right. We have a ATEM Mini Extreme right here. We also have a mixer. I think it's the Allen Heath. I don't remember the name. We also have an older mixer over here in the baptismal area. We also have a streaming bridge over here in the baptismal area. And you can see I'm starting to run out of space already, trying to plan this as best as possible. We have a switch, got a couple of these, and one is a PoE switch that lives over here. I need to get this up out of the way so we actually got room. And then we actually have 2 switches here. Might as well do the full design. And we have a switch that lives over here as well too. And this is I'm gonna be moving this all over the place so we can have space for everything. What else? We have our joystick that now lives over here. And we have a audio to SDI converter over here. And we have and actually I need to move this because the mixer is over here. Let's change. See, you see I'm running out of space already. So we got our mixer over here, and then we also have a SDI to audio converter, the opposite of the same thing. And we got tons and tons and tons of SDI to HDMI converters. So I'm gonna have to hyphenate this so that I have enough space for all of this.
So we got 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we also have one here. One here. Maybe I'll put it on the top here. Where else? One over here. Man, this is a logistical nightmare. I also forgot we have an HDMI splitter over here. So let me actually start designing this stuff because I'm mentally starting to forget stuff and I need to start drawing it so I can actually have everything together. All right, so first, all of the cameras are connected and ran all the way back over here via SDI, and then it's converted back. So every single camera. So that's actually front left, front right, back, PTZ, static, baptism, PTZ. All right. So let's connect all of these. Try and have it a little organized here. All right. Now, the one that's going all the way back here from the baptismal is going to be kind of unique. So the way this works, actually, let me move this down here. So the SDI out of this goes into our audio to SDI converter. So it's sending our signal. But then that local mixer that's going to be tied into the mics and speakers there and everything like that when they're doing baptism, that is connected here as well too. And then this sends a signal all the way back here. All right. So that's what that does. That brings the signal in. Now, this is the crazy part about this. This converter also has a SDI loop out. So whatever SDI comes in, the SDI can loop out as well too. So how we have that working is this runs all the way back to the booth in the sanctuary, and it strips the audio out, and then the audio comes right back into the mixer so that it's a channel. So if anybody's talking in the baptismal area, everybody inside the sanctuary can hear it. All right. That's one thing. Now, this SDI out also has video. So what we have, actually, let me take that back. We don't need this because this is coming directly off of that baptismal camera. All right. So that's why we're not using that one for audio, because if we use that audio, it's going to have everything. All right. So we got that part. Now, and let me connect all of these. Hopefully y'all know all of these are connected over HDMI. All right. Now, the Pro Presenter computer that we built for them have 2 monitor outs, one for the monitor for everybody to see, another monitor out that is a direct feed over a fiber optic HDMI cable that presents ProPresenter back to the ATEM. So let's scoot this down. This comes directly into the ATEM so that the ATEM has the feed. Now, the two deck links that are inside of here, one goes directly to the TV for the stage display, and I forgot my splitter. Let's duplicate this. Then the other one goes to an HDMI splitter all the way in the front. And let me do this to the side so hopefully it makes it clear here. And then that splitter sends to both of the TVs in the front. Those are for the front displays. So again, this output is directly connected to ProPresenter. And it's going to get way weirder here in a second. So there we go from here. So we got our stage display being connected to ProPresenter, our front TV is being displayed, but then our HDMI output is going to the ATEM so everybody can see it. Now, in this whole setup with this mixer, and I really need to find a better place to put the streaming PC right now. Let's actually do the rest of this. So we have our multi-view right there. That is powering that TV right there. Now, inside of this, and let's change these locations. This mixer, we have two 100-foot XLR cables going all the way back over here. So our audio is coming all the way back from our main mixer. That's our audio. That's main audio. And I guess I should have labeled these while I was doing this. So that's how our main audio is coming in. And actually, I connected to the wrong one. This is our main audio. And maybe I'll do this under so we can have some better room here. Nope. Let's do this all over again. We're just going to do this the long way. We're going to connect it here, but we're going to loop it around everything. That's audio. So this is main audio. All right, let's actually move it down here. Main audio. And why did I go to here? It goes to there, to the ATEM. So that's where our main audio is coming in. All right. I should have did this in a different level. See, when I do this, I actually doing it live. So it's like, this doesn't always make sense. All right. So while we're here, the streaming computer gets the video and audio from the ATEM and it's running OBS. They have that connected here over USB. Video and audio. Now, the second monitor in OBS is running to a splitter because they want, instead of seeing the direct out from the ATEM, they want OBS that has all its graphics, all of its special announcements. That's how they play everything. So the online community sees something completely different than what is inside the sanctuary, but all the other TVs also see that flow. So that's why we're not running the HDMI out from the ATEM. We're getting the output from OBS. So how that works is the output of that that is what feeds the production TV that's also on the wall inside of that room we just did. That also runs to, and I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do this nice and neatly. This goes to the media booth because I messed up already. We have an HDMI to SDI because this is the original cable. So we run that here. And then the SDI cable in the ceiling goes to our media booth. And then that converts over to HDMI. Let's bring this down just a little bit. We have another output. Why is it resizing? Another one that runs all the way to the lobby TV, the exact same way. Let's bring man, forget it. It's not doing the way I want it to. So we'll just figure this out. You see, I'm keeping adjusting so we can actually have some space here. Put this over here for right now. So that's where both of those feed. All right, whatever TV. We also have a Baptismal TV. We don't need to worry about that right now. Let's slide this all the way over here, get it up out of the way. All right. And so the media booth, they can see what's going on. Production room, they can see what's going on. They can see what's going on here. All right. Now, the other thing, and that's the reason why we have this, is because originally the ATEM has two SDI outs. Has two USB outs. My apologies. One of them is being used to the streaming PC. That's how it's getting the audio and video. And when they were beside each other, we had another USB that went to ProPresenter. So again, inside the sanctuary, in the setup, see, no cameras can be shown here, but we connected it, and then ProPresenter can see the ATEM as a capture device and turn it into a video input. And that's how we were able to show everything inside of here for the baptism. Since we didn't do that, there is a capture card. They have an old cam link. That's what we have inside of here. So what we did, and actually I don't need that, we ran another fiber optic HDMI cable to the capture card inside of ProPresenter. And that's how that can see everything. So I'm going to say I need to put these in a different way so you can actually see them side by side. Capture card input going into ProPresenter. All right. So that's how they can still see this. They can pick that up and say, oh, I want to see the baptism camera inside of here. They're able to read directly from the ATEM's output that's actually going into OBS, and then OBS sends it over to there. So that's how they got it. Now, what am I forgetting? Yeah, we didn't hook up everything. So let's do one more thing. When this streams, the ATEM, because when they ran the cable from the baptismal room all the way back to the sanctuary, they were supposed to run two SDI cables. They only ran one. So to get around that, the ATEM, since OBS is streaming, the ATEM streams to the streaming bridge. And I want to make this straight so it makes it real easy to see. Let's scoot this up some. So what are we going to do for streaming? I don't know. Let's use green and let's do the dotted lines. So this is streamed. That streams to the streaming bridge, and the streaming bridge has an HDMI out that goes directly to that TV over HDMI. That's how the baptismal TV can see. All right. Now, the other thing we did not do, we did not have everything else connected over our networking stuff. So let's try and do that without making a mess. All right. So we have let me actually put it down here. Hopefully this can get out the way. So we have internet coming in here, the main internet for the church. That runs a line into here, and that's what my green was. So we'll do a solid green instead of that, the dotted line. This one connects to our ProPresenter PC, gives it internet access. We also send, and let me bring this down here. This is a D-Link, like a 4-port. So we have that line being ran to this. This one always stays on. So this connects directly to our streaming PC. So when everything else is turned off, we'll always still have internet on this computer. That was a change that we made right at the last minute. Always on internet. All right. And then we loop this out into our PoE switch that turns on and off with our switch. This is the one, and this is where I'm actually going to slide this over to get this up out of the way. This is what gives internet to our joystick. I can't get it right. Get that. So that's PTZ joystick. And since all of these are on the same network, this is how we're able to control the camera also in the baptismal area. This gives internet to our ATEM. And this is where we run all of our connections to every single camera as well, so that when we turn everything on, that's how all of this is done. And let's get these all nice and neat real quick. All right. Now this joystick is actually plugged into, let me see the joystick. This camera is actually plugged into internet that's on that side of the building. So this is not a PoE switch. This is always, no, actually, I'm sorry. It is a PoE switch. But again, I have no idea. I don't recall how it is. I did add it there. I just don't recall how it's there. So this also is doing the main bridge over here. So that's how everything is talking to one another and all this other fun stuff. So let me zoom out here so we can at least get it all on one screen. So that is the design. And yeah, that was a lot, but the good thing is, I mean, we kind of knew the ins and outs of how all this works. The main thing was handling the audio here, how to only get audio from the baptismal area, and it's really just knowing the routing of how everything is done. If I had it to do again, obviously I wouldn't do it this way. When we first did this, fiber optic HDMI cables were not really an option. I would have done it that way a little bit better. If I was able to be a part of when they ran that extra cable, I would have insisted that they ran a second SDI cable or maybe even a third in between the buildings. That would have made this a lot easier instead of me running some cables. But I think that is mainly it. So I'm gonna send this over to them. And yeah, and this is just the beauty of the fact that this is stuff that was piecemealed. We've been working with them 3-4 years now. They started with one PTZ optics camera that somebody hooked up over the network that was not performing well on an old system. Got their cameras hooked them up to an ATEM Mini Pro, got a streaming system for them, built another faster system, and got them off of the old Mac onto a custom PC for ProPresenter, moved them to the ATEM Mini Stream, got them another camera, got another PTZ camera, got 2 more PTZ cameras, did one in the overflow. I mean, so I am very, very thankful for them reaching out, and they trust me enough to keep calling me back to do some other stuff. So I'm excited. So we do have one more project for them. We're going to put a, I think I was telling you, we're going to put a projector in the ceiling. So we're going to be adding some more stuff to this. So most likely we're probably going to run a feed from the baptismal TV up to their projector, possibly. Even though they didn't mention it, probably going to do it anyway. So that way it could be there. I don't think they'll be using it now that I think about it, because the screen is over top of the baptismal area, but it's no harm in actually having both there. But link is going to be down below to every single thing that we recently added. I'm not going to do everything because I have other videos that I've tagged in that. But again, thank you, Spring Creek. Thank you, Dr. Cooper. Thank you, Marquita. Thank you, all of those folks that we've been talking with and working with for years. I really appreciate it. And if you're interested in me doing anything like this, helping you out, doing a diagram, doing an on-site, you can contact me at ajhomes.com/consultations. We can do phone calls, Zoom, or even on-site. We do travel, folks. We have gone all the way to the West Coast. We have gone international. We are here to help. So hit me up down there if you're interested. And that's about it. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. Catch you on the next video later.